Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. Okay, so Pam, I have to introduce you guys to her. So she just, I'm sure all of you already know her, but she just promoted to director, and I don't think I've given her like the woo woo shout out on Zoom yet. So I'm super excited for her. And I remember there was a time in Pam's business where we were talking on the telephone and she was like, how does a person sell $2,000 in PRV a month? Because if you didn't know, when you sell $2,000 in PRV a month, you get a bonus of 5%. So you're making 30%. So even without a team, if you sell $2,000 in 1 month, you will get a $600 paycheck. So now she sometimes have $3,000 and $4,000 in PRV a month. So, okay, so Pam, tell us about your fundraisers. You'll have to unmute.
Hi, everybody. I'm so excited that you want to hear about fundraisers tonight. So I'll try and do my best to give you all the scoop. So I do all of mine on Facebook, and mostly they're for animal rescue groups. I'm involved with Greyhound Rescue, and I volunteer at some shelters. So that's kind of how I got started. And so like if I have a contact person, that's easy. I will just ask that person, you know, if they would like me to do a fundraiser. And then I explain to them how it works. But most of my fundraisers, I don't know anybody. I just look on Facebook for groups, or something comes through my news feed. I'll message them and I'll say, hey, I'm an animal lover or a dog lover. And I also sell Scentsy, and I do fundraisers for groups all over the country, and would you be, or I would love to do one for you. And then I tell them that I do all the work and all they have to do is share. And then I'll ask them if they want to hear more. So believe it or not, some of them ignore me, and that's very frustrating because it's almost like offering free money, you know. But the ones that do want to hear more, so then I tell them how it works. And how it works is I create the Facebook event, and I find out who does their Facebook page, and I communicate with them because they're going to be the ones that need to share it on Facebook. And I also make them co-host. I don't know that I really have to, but because they can still share it on their Facebook page even if they're not the co-host, but it just gives them more flexibility, I think, with the event if I make them co-host. So then I ask them if they want product sheets, and if they do, I mail them some product sheets before the fundraiser. And I'll also offer to make them a flyer. I make that on the computer and I email it to them, like maybe they want to post it on their newsletter or something. And then I'll also ask them if they can ask all their volunteers to share the event when I create it on Facebook. And if people don't know how to create an event on Facebook, I can help you. It's pretty easy. And so then after I create the event, I have a video that I made. I used to make a new video every time until Jessica said, why not just make one video? So I did. And I don't name the group on that video. I just say, welcome to my fundraiser. So I put that video on the fundraiser. And then every day I post different pictures and tell different things about Scentsy. And I could probably make it more exciting. I should probably try and play more games and stuff. And then every time somebody orders, I'll do a thank you post with their name. And then in the last few days of the fundraiser, I will private message everybody that clicked going to the event if they haven't ordered. So I'll do that, and that takes some time, but it helps. I usually get a couple more orders after I do that. And then, oh, Facebook only lets me set it up for 2 weeks. So the fundraisers usually run for 2 weeks. And, but a lot of times people say, oh, can I still order after? And I'll say, sure. You know, it's just that Facebook takes the event down, but my Scentsy link is still, you know, working. I make that open for like a month. Oh, and then every day when I post, I copy my the party link. I put that party link everywhere on that fundraiser, so people will be sure to use that link. Because as you guys know, if they don't use the link, it won't be attached to a party. But I can still donate my commission from it, but you still want it to go to that party. So then after it's over, I send them a check. I tell them that I'm donating my entire commission, which I do, up to 25%. I don't tell them that, you know, if I get over 2,000 that month, that I'm going to donate 30%. I just tell them that it's 25%. And then sometimes if the Facebook person has been real helpful, I'll offer them a half price item, and they get real happy about that. And then, so then when it's over, I send everybody that ordered a thank you note with a product sheet, and I friend them on Facebook, and I add them to the workstation and add them to the newsletter. And then I probably have gotten maybe 6 to 7 recruits over the years from these fundraisers. And I have about 1,200 contacts in my contacts on my workstation. And I think more than half of them is from my fundraisers. So, and let's see, I think that's about it. So did I miss anything, Jessica? Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, that's a good thing. Does anybody have questions? You can also type them if you think of one in a few minutes. That's okay. There's a little chat box. If you've never been, just move your mouse or your finger and there's a chat box there you can ask. So going back to what I said before, your first question is, are they local or not? And then if they're not local, you're going to do exactly what Pam just said. You're going to do an online fundraiser. You create an event on your website that people are going to shop from. You create the event on Facebook. And I told you guys that we were going to give you a free gift, but it's really Pam giving you a free gift. She has an amazing outline that she uses for these online fundraisers, and she's agreed to share it with us as a Facebook event within the Daring Scent Stars page. So she's going to share that. So that's our free gift to you tonight, which I'm excited to see it. The only difference is whenever she posts her video, you wouldn't want to use her video for your fundraiser. You would want to make your own, something similar to it. You might even change the wording just a little bit. So I'm excited for that. And Pam, whenever I'm talking, if you think of anything, just interrupt me. So then I said, if they're local to you, you have options, and you can do, probably you did something as a kid where you got a fundraiser, maybe you sold candy bars or something like that, but every kid in the school got a packet. Again, it doesn't have to be a school. It can be any sort of organization. I just recently did a girls softball team, any sort of organized sports, dance places, gymnastics places, one single classroom. It doesn't have to be a whole school. If you know a teacher, I did one once for a little girl who was trying to go to horse nationals or something. So it was just her selling to her neighbors and family members. So if you do a packet fundraiser, your two options are the full catalog fundraiser or a Scent Circle fundraiser. So I'm not going to talk much about it, but just so you know, if you do the full catalog, you would get a showcase brochure. So this is a regular catalog with all the pages, and this is a showcase brochure. And the only difference besides the size, obviously, in the pages, is that this does not list combine and save packages. Whenever you're doing a fundraiser, your goal is to raise as much money as you can for the organization. So you're not going to offer combine and save packages. So you would just, I'm going to lose in my voice. Let me get a drink. It happens to me at nighttime. Okay, so you're just going to get an envelope, a showcase brochure, and then there are order forms that are, I want to say 2 order forms to a page, and you print out 2 and give to each person. So that would be the full catalog. But I'm going to talk about Scent Circle fundraisers. This is easier because it's all one thing that you're going to get that you have to package up, because that's a huge perk to your fundraisers versus all the other fundraisers that the person you're proposing that they do a Scent Circle fundraiser or any sort of Scentsy fundraiser is that you package the stuff up. Because those school fundraisers, the school typically gets a huge, large shipment of stuff, or any fundraiser, and then they have to package it themselves. So that's a huge perk. Don't forget to tell them that. But the other thing is, a Scent Circle fundraiser will actually make you more money when it's local than the full catalog. So just to throw out some math there, if you do a full catalog and the organization sells $2,000 before taxes, and you decide to give them all 30% commission, which, by the way, if you're doing a full catalog, I don't recommend doing that, because you want to keep 5% to pay yourself back for your business supplies that you pay for. So if you were giving them 30%, that would be $600. If you were giving them 25%, what is it, like 500? I don't even know. But if you do the same as sales in Scent Circles, so let's say you sell 100 Scent Circles, which is, well, I guess $1,500 in PRV, you get $700 to the organization. So okay, bear with me. I think I kind of made it confusing, but basically I just compared a $2,000 full catalog fundraiser with the organization getting $600 versus them selling 100 6-packs of Scent Circles and they get $700. So it just adds up fast. Plus, with that example of the 100 Scent Circles, you could keep $70 for yourself out of that fundraiser money. So I'm going to break it down for you. So basically, if you go to the file section in the Daring Scent Stars, there's an order form. It looks like this. I think it needs updated for the fall winter scents. It has some retired scents for the one that's on there, so we need to update that. But they just put their name, their phone number, and then they jot down what they want and they pay. So what I give the people is I buy these envelopes. They actually have white ones at Walmart that are cheaper than these vanilla envelopes. I put one of my little labels on it, or you can get a stamp. I've wrote all over this, but I don't. They get a clean one. So then I just envelope the order form. I put my label on there, and then I put one of my business cards in there, and that's it. I ask the person, you're always going to have one contact person that you work with no matter what kind of fundraiser you do, and I explain it all to them. She explains it, or sometimes because they're local, you can go and do a presentation and tell them what they're trying to earn money for and how it works. So this is how it works. They're going to sell 6 Scent Circles for $20. And as we know as consultants, you can buy 6 Scent Circles for $15, okay? So right off the bat, you're going to be able to put $3.95 in an envelope to save for the organization. So every 6-pack that they sell, they're going to get $7. So they're selling 6-packs for $20, and for every 6-pack they sell, the organization is going to get $7. So if they sell 100 Scent Circles, so they have 10 people who sell 10, which is totally doable, they're going to get $700. So, like I said, they're going to give you all their packets back, and you're going to add up what it is, and you're going to have a large lump sum of money that you're just going to put in an envelope until it's time to pay them. Then you're going to order the Scent Circles as 6-packs. So those are $15. And then you're going to get commission on the Scent Circles that you ordered. So if you order 100 6-packs, that's $1,500 in PRV that you're going to get. So you're going to also be able to give them $395 towards that from the commission. So you give them $7, but you're going to have, after you get your commission plus that bundle of money that you initially saved because you didn't need to use it to buy the Scent Circles, you're actually going to have $770, but you only owe them $700. So you're getting a paycheck. If you do a full catalog, local packet fundraiser, you have to pay for the business supplies, which you do have to print these out, give them your business card that you have to pay either way, but you don't get any money unless you choose to give them a smaller percentage. But you have to realize that you're in a competitive situation whenever you're trying to get someone to do a fundraiser with you, because there are lots of things that you can do a fundraiser with. They sell like laundry detergent and buckets and trash bags and wreaths and candy bars and, I mean, popcorn and cookies and all the things. So you're telling that person, like your one person, your one contact, that you're going to package it all for them. You're going to give them instructions like it's the easiest fundraiser ever, and they're going to get $7 for every 6-pack they sell, that's a lot of money. So let's see, did I forget anything? Okay, so whenever you do a fundraiser, no matter what kind of fundraiser it is, you want to do it all in 1 month's time. So you want to try to start at the beginning of the month so that it can end before the end of the month, and that's for payment purposes. Whenever I do a fundraiser, I tell them that they will get their check from me on or before the 15th of the following month. So that gives me 5 days, because I'm going to close their fundraiser before the end of October. Let's say I'm doing a fundraiser right now. I'm going to close it before the end of October, which means I'm going to get their money, their payment, on November 10th. So that gives me, and we all know we actually get paid like on the 9th usually. So that gives me 5 or 6 days to mail it out, because I say it's going to mail out on or before the 15th. And I just mail them a check, or they'll come pick it up from my house. The last fundraiser, she just came to my house. So it can add up really fast. You can do the math. You know, I have my phone. So if you have a larger organization, I mean, if you got an entire school to do it, I've seen pictures. Let's say they sell 1,000 Scent Circles. It's one school who sells 1,000 6-packs of Scent Circles for $20. They're going to get $7,000 from you. And you're going to get to keep an additional part of that. It would be even more than the 70 we talked about with 100 Scent Circles. Does anybody have questions about any of the fundraisers? It doesn't just have to be Scent Circles.
I do have a question.
Okay.
Okay, so my question is, do you ever include any type of like scent samples, like the felts? You want the people to know what the smells of the Scent Circles that you're offering, or does it not matter? Do they make a big deal about it, or no?
Actually, so you made me think of 2 things. So thanks for asking your question. But the first thing is no, actually, I've never had anyone ask about the scents that they are until my very last fundraiser that I did. And the lady who was in charge says, I have a parent who's asking me if you have testers. And I just responded and said, fundraisers do not receive testers, because there's so many people buying. There's no way we could provide enough testers for everyone to smell. She's like, oh, got it. That makes perfect sense. So no, I mean, you could get a couple scratch and sniff stickers, but my feeling is if say you put like 3 of like the 13 scents that you're offering, the people are going to be like, well, I need to smell the other 10, because that's just the way our brain works. So I just don't at all offer that. But you reminded me of does that answer your question? I don't.
Yeah, that answered my question, because I'm actually in the process of doing a Scent Circle fundraiser. Well, I'm trying to get one together, and I was trying to think of all the ways to possibly get people to be involved, and I was going to include those felts, but then I start thinking exactly what you said. What if people who are familiar with scents are probably going to want to know about the other scents that I don't have listed on the form. So I didn't know if I was creating a bigger monster, or if I was, actually helping the situation. I don't know. But that makes perfect sense to say no, we don't. Yeah. You answered my question.
So that brings up another point, though, that's kind of related. On these Scent Circle fundraisers, the fundraisers that Pam's doing, she's getting all of their contact information because they're ordering from her website, giving their phone number, their address. You can see their order. On a Scent Circle fundraiser order form, you're getting their name and their telephone number, and that's it. Okay? So that allows you to be able to text them, but I will say, like this person, so they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 people ordered and 3 gave me phone numbers. Some of them, they didn't give a phone number at all. So that's when your smell goods are going to come into play. So what I did was, and some of you have seen me share this before, I gave a $5 wax cash, and I'll tell you what that is in a second. I gave a sample of, and I know Pam does this too, of washer whiffs. You could use wax if you don't want to make washer whiff samples. And then in their bags, I gave them a product list, which is the piece of paper. I'll show you. It's like a legal size. Oh, I guess I'll just take them all out. A legal size piece of paper. I fold it up. By the way, another tip is to get a stamp from like Vistaprint with your website and your phone number on it, because you will spend so much money in labels if you try to use like sticker labels. I just lift up the plastic piece, and I'm getting like a whole pile of stuff in my lap, but I would just stamp it right here underneath the clear thing. That's what I did, and it saves so much money. But anyway, so wax cash, a product list so they can see everything. If it's a smaller fundraiser, I would probably give them a showcase brochure because it's a little bit nicer. And then I gave them wax cash that expires. And so what I said is, I hope that you're absolutely smitten with your Scentsy order. As a thank you for supporting my small business, I'd love to offer you $5 off your next order of $35 or more, and it expires on October 15th. Redeemable through Jessica Kiss only, because you can't give something like this out and not put that on there, because then they'll think they can redeem it through Scentsy with my phone number. So the reason I did $35 or more is because I didn't want them to order a 6-pack of wax and then I had to pay the $5. I wanted them to buy like a warmer and a 6-pack of wax, and then I would give them the $5 off. To cover the cost, I would just use a perpetual reward or some free credit from customer orders. When they contacted me, I would say, oh, awesome, I'm placing my order on Friday. Like, I wouldn't go to the website and place their order right then. I would say, perfect, let's redeem your coupon. The order's going in on Friday. Let me know what you want, kind of thing. And just an update for that. Tomorrow is the 15th, and I did not get anyone to use my wax cash. And there was like 65 people or something like that in the fundraiser. So I do have some of their phone numbers, and we'll be following up with those people for sure. And the other tip is, my last tip that I think I have is, whenever the lady picks up her fundraiser check, I say, do you want to go ahead and schedule your next fundraiser for this month? So this lady, and another, I guess I have one more. If you do this in the 10% off transition month, so February and August, you can give them $9 if you're going to have a $2,000 month. So if not, you could do $8, but if you think you're going to sell $2,000, you can give them $9 for every 6-pack of Scent Circle sold. So I think that's my tips. Any other questions? Jim, it says you raised your hand. Did you want to add something?
Hi, Jess.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Something I wanted to add that answers that question of, because you're absolutely right, how would you take a fundraiser and give everybody something to smell, right? That could be kind of crazy. Wouldn't happen. But what I just, actually, it's still in progress. I'm doing an autism fundraiser with my mom. So we did it twofold. She did a setup of Scentsy product where she lives. They're in Vermont. And so they did a setup, and she invited people, and they came to see the warmers and the wax, and she had scent testers there. So a bunch of the people got to smell them. And then, of course, we did it online as well. But the cool thing was, the people who got to actually smell the testers started telling other people. And so then now we've got this slew of people that came through tonight that want to order because this one told them, that one told them. So I think if you're in a position to do that, where you could do like a little kickoff event and have maybe some of the key players come and smell the testers and actually handle the products, that might help. So just wanted to throw that out there as an option.
Thank you. That's a great point. Yeah. So I've seen people do a fundraiser for a church where they went and set up on Sunday and they had a table, and you can make little flyers that have the website, like, it's kind of long, but you can, put that on there, give instructions, make sure they attach it to the fundraiser on your website, and they can also order from you right then that day, or if they have a big event at the organization for you to go. And that also makes me think of this. So I've done fundraisers for like this dance place a bunch of times. It's like competitive cheerleading or tumbling or something. And if the people, especially if it's parents who are already paying for something, so organized sports, okay? If they don't know what they're going to get out of the fundraiser, they will not sell the products. They have to know like what's in it for them. How is it going to benefit them or their child, or they're not going to sell? So if you have the opportunity, like Jim said, to get in front of the people, it's like a double win. One is they can smell stuff, and the other is you can let them know what's in it for them. You can even do fun things like, if it's kids or even adults or whatever, whoever sells the most, the two people who sell the most, let's make it a little fun competition, are going to get a gift from me. I'm going to give you a mini warmer with a bar of wax, you know, the top two sellers. So you can get creative. And if you think of questions later, feel free to ask. Do you have anything else to add, Pam, or does anybody else have questions? You have to unmute, Carola.
Okay, so you were talking about that you packaged everything up. So so you take your list and you say, okay, Mrs. X was in this classroom. So you put all the circles together and put like a little label with their name on it and like sort them by classroom. If you do like multiple classrooms, is that how you package them up?
Yes. So my system this time was, yes, if they were by classroom, I ask the person that I'm working with, how do you want these organized? Do you want it by alphabetical order of last name? Do you just want me to keep them together? So my last one wasn't that big. It wasn't multiple classrooms. It was one sports team, but I got a lot of orders. So one order form is one girl's, you know, so I would package up this girl's orders. So this had 6 people who ordered. I packaged them all up. I took a colored piece of paper, which I don't know what I did with it. It was like pink printer paper. I cut them up into little squares and I wrote their name on it. And so everybody's bag had their name in the back. I do that with my regular orders anyway. So when I take orders to a hostess, I can say, okay, everybody's name's on the back, you know? And then after I packaged up all 6, the other thing with the Scent Circle, order the catalog sacks because they can fit even 12 Scent Circles in a catalog sack, and it's cheaper. Once I had them all stuffed with everything, I had all 6 baggies ready to go. I took that ribbon that's for gift wrap that you buy at the Dollar Tree, and I tied the handles together. And I put one of those pink pieces of paper, I put the girl that collected the order, her info's down here. I put her name on a pink paper, used a hole punch, and tied it all 6 bags together with her name at the top. And then I put them in the box. So the girl who was organizing the fundraiser, all she had to do was get out Olivia's 6 Scent Circles. They were all tied together by the handle and super cute, by the way. It was like, here's your 6, the names are on the back. And that's it. Good question. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop recording this.